The United States went to war with Iran to weaken the regime. Instead, it may have created something even harder to stop. Ali Khamenei is dead, but the Iranian system did not collapse. It replaced him with a leader many analysts describe as even more hardline than his father. His name is Mojtaba Khamenei, and right now, he controls the future of Iran's nuclear program. The original U.S. strategy was based on a simple assumption: remove the leadership, apply pressure, and force Iran into concessions. But that is not what happened. Instead, power inside Iran shifted even further toward the Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, the most powerful military institution in the country. And according to analysts, that changes everything.
Most people outside Iran knew very little about Mojtaba Khamenei before this year. He stayed largely out of public view for decades. But behind the scenes, he built influence across Iran's political and security system.
Born in 1969, Mojtaba is the second son of Ali Khamenei.
He studied in Iran's religious institutions while developing close ties with the Revolutionary Guard. Over time, those relationships became a major source of power. Analysts say Mojtaba gradually became one of the most influential figures inside the Supreme Leader's office, long before his father died. He reportedly influenced appointments, coordinated with senior IRGC officials, and helped shape internal security policy. And his ideology appears even more hardline than his father's. That became especially clear during the 2009 Green Movement protests. Millions of Iranians protested disputed election results in what became the largest anti-government demonstrations since the Islamic Revolution. According to multiple reports, Mojtaba Khamenei played a role in coordinating the crackdown. The Revolutionary Guard and besieged militia moved aggressively against protesters. Thousands were arrested. Demonstrations were crushed, and Mojtaba gained a reputation as someone willing to use maximum force to preserve the regime. That matters now. Because the man leading Iran today is not a reformer pushed into power by crisis. He is a product of Iran's security establishment itself. Then came February 28, 2026, the day that changed Iran forever. American and Israeli strikes hit the Khamenei family compound in Tehran. Ali Khamenei was killed, but Mojtaba survived. Inside Iran, that survival story immediately became politically powerful. State media portrayed him as a man who survived an assassination attempt while losing members of his family in the same strike. Then came the succession process. Officially, Iran's Assembly of Experts selects the supreme leader. But according to reports, the Revolutionary Guard played the decisive role in pushing Mojtaba into power quickly after his father's death. The argument inside the system was simple. Iran was at war and needed a leader closely aligned with the de-escalation military security establishment, and Mojtaba was their choice.
That is one reason analysts believe real power in Iran today sits less with civilian institutions and more with a collective security structure dominated by the Revolutionary Guard.
And that creates a major problem for diplomacy.
Because while the United States negotiates with diplomats and foreign ministry officials, many analysts believe the real decisions are now being shaped inside a much harder-line military network. Then there is the nuclear issue. For years, one of the biggest arguments used to defend Iran's nuclear intentions was Ali Khamenei's fatwa against nuclear weapons. But now Ali Khamenei is dead, and many experts believe that religious restriction effectively died with him. Iran still possesses large amounts of highly enriched uranium.
Some nuclear facilities survived the strikes earlier this year.
And international inspectors now have far less visibility into what is happening inside the country. At the same time,
hardline factions inside Iran have argued for years that nuclear deterrence is the only real guarantee against foreign attack. Then the United States and Israel launched strikes anyway. That strengthened the hardliners politically. And now the people holding the most influence inside Iran are the same people who spent years arguing that compromise with the West could never guarantee security. That is why analysts increasingly compare Iran's trajectory to North Korea, not because the countries are identical, but because the strategic logic is beginning to look similar. North Korea concluded long ago that nuclear weapons were essential for regime survival. Iran's hardliners may now believe exactly the same thing, especially after watching foreign airstrikes kill the country's supreme leader. That is the deeper consequence of the war. The goal was to pressure Iran into concessions. Instead, the conflict may have strengthened the very factions least willing to compromise. And that creates a much more dangerous long-term situation for the Middle East and for the world.